Hey everybody, Chef Corry Hudson here again at Hook Gulf Coast Cuisine. Today we're preparing Nana's grilled swordfish with pesto risotto. Now today we're grilling swordfish. Swordfish is a fish that we have not cooked yet here on the Fisherman's Guide. It's not something that I usually get here at the restaurant that often because we don't have swordfish out here. We have to get it flown in. But it's a very good grilling fish. It's very dense, very meaty, and the closest alternative to it, believe it or not, is a mako shark or a marlin. Tuna is similar to it, but you know, tuna you can eat it raw. I wouldn't recommend eating swordfish raw. But we're going to serve it with a pesto risotto. Now the main ingredient in this is the swordfish, but to accompany it with some fresh, vibrant flavors, pesto is going to go very well with it. All pesto consists of is fresh basil, not the dry stuff. You need fresh basil, garlic, a little bit of lemon juice. Traditionally it's used with pine nuts, but I like to use toasted almonds, a little bit of olive oil, and Parmesan cheese. Now if you notice, in all of my recipes I use a food processor. It's a very inexpensive employee that works hard for me every day and doesn't talk back. So with pesto and dressings and sauces, you can make them all in this. Mine's called a RoboCoupe. Basically just a regular food processor. So next thing, I'm putting the basil, the garlic, the almonds, and the lemon juice all in the food processor. I'm going to turn it on and slowly add the olive oil just like I would a vinaigrette. It's going to make somewhat of a paste. And when it's done, we're going to add just a little bit of Parmesan cheese to give it a nice creamy texture. Now we're serving this swordfish with risotto. A lot of people get intimidated by making it because it is a process. It takes a little bit of time. But you can't just use any rice on the shelf. You need to get arborio rice. The method to cooking arborio rice in the risotto is that this rice grain swells up probably twice as much as a regular grain of rice. You got to start it with, I start mine with about a half an onion chopped. Saute that down, then I'll put my rice in the pan, saute it with the onions a little bit, let it start to brown, and then slowly add stock, about 1.5 cups, 2 cups at a time. Once that rice starts to absorb all that liquid, add more, add more. Like the batch that I make here, it's usually a big batch. It takes me about an hour to make. But at home for you, a couple other people, it should only take about 25-30 minutes. Like I said, swordfish is a very good grilling fish. It holds up very well on the grill. We're just going to score it with some grill marks, and it goes in the oven for about 5 minutes at 350 degrees. When the fish is done, it'll have an opaque color to it. And once you stick your fork into it, it's like a beef tenderloin. It just falls apart. So now that the pesto is made and the arborio rice is cooked in the seafood broth, we're going to blend these two together and make a pesto risotto. And once we have this blended together, we're going to put it on the plate and top it with our beautiful, succulent grilled swordfish.